What's up, everybody? My name is Micah, and welcome to this week's Disc Golf Devo Breakdown. The Devo this week comes from Seth Hogan, and he's in Ephesians chapter 6. We're doing the armor of God, and he's got verse 16, Ephesians 6:16, which says, "In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one." Let me just give you a few takeaways from the Devo this week that Seth wrote. First thing he talks about is the specific kind of shield that Paul is speaking of when he says take up the shield of faith. Seth says that the word used for shield in Ephesians refers to a specific kind of Roman shield. It was a 2.5 by 4.5 foot and protected the whole body. One of the main weapons the army would use to fight was flaming arrows. They'd shoot those at each other. And he said even if a shield stopped the arrow, the shield would catch on fire. So what these Roman shields did is they had a layer of leather on the front, and they would soak the leather in water before the battle, and that would enable them to extinguish the flaming arrows. He says, so when Paul likens our faith to a shield, he's saying that our faith in God is complete protection. Faith is a strong conviction or belief that God exists, created the world, and gives us salvation through Jesus Christ. And so the shield of faith, having our faith set in God, is what allows us to extinguish the flaming arrows of the enemy, as Paul says in Romans 6. Seth also talks about our faith in God keeping us from being derailed by circumstances in life. And I think if you've ever been in a hard circumstance in life, you can at least acknowledge this. Maybe if you didn't get through it well, that the thing for those of us who are followers of Jesus that brought us through was actually recognizing that God's the only one we can trust in, that God's the only one that we can have true faith in. And so our faith in God is what allows us to stop being derailed by circumstances in life. And the last thing he says is he gives a situation where if you've ever seen someone step up to a putt, like a big putt, and maybe has like OB behind it, there's all these circumstances that would keep them from being able to make it, and they're trying to decide if they can run the putt or not. And they end up laying the putt up and then turning and saying, I had faith I could make that, I just decided to lay up. And you're like, no. If you had faith that you would make the putt, then you would have putted, because that's what faith is. Faith is something that actually causes action in our life. And that's the last thing I want to point out that Seth talks about, is that faith is a key factor in our lives as Christians. He says if our faith does not cause us to change the way we live, then it's useless. Our faith is what drives us. Our faith is what allows us to face the world, a world that hates Jesus, a world that doesn't want to hear the message of the gospel, and oftentimes throws shade at us and the enemy throws all kinds of flaming arrows. And it's our faith that allows us to endure those things and press forward. But listen, here's the encouragement. Let our faith be the defensive tool that allows us to walk through this life no matter the circumstance and say we're still going to fight, we're still going to push forward for the gospel, because our faith rests in God. So let our faith drive us in life. Have a fantastic week. We'll see you later.
Hey, we want to thank you so much for joining us here at Disc Golf Devo today. We hope these devotionals are a blessing to you. And if you'd like to receive them free every week, all you got to do to sign up is go to discgolfdevo.com. Have a great day. God bless.